who had the best food
Italy.
out of all those places?
Italy, no question.
Yeah.
The pasta,
Yep.
the fish.
Yeah, fresh.
It's like they grab it right out of the water.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And I've been to so many nice restaurants. They have so many nice restaurants. The wine, I got into wine.
Yeah.
So that just being there, and not even just food, just just opening up.
The
a kid from
culture.
Chicago,
Yeah.
where at first I just only knew the South Side. I didn't even know the East. I was from the East Side, so I didn't even know the West Side, North Side, downtown, and then to go to Italy and try so many foods and wines and things like that just opened my mind up to just the unlimited, just tap into just the unlimited just powers that that we have to live on this earth in 2020.
Yeah. Now I think I know the answer to this, but who had the worst or the craziest food?
Who had the craziest food? Yeah. South Korea for sure. They would have like fish tanks of food right outside. And they were like, if you order food, they would literally pull it out the fish tank.
Yeah. Did you try any?
I tried a lot. I forgot. The dish there, their main dish.
Yeah. Is it the pork one or the fish one? They got a little clam that looks disgusting, man.
Yeah, they have a lot of just interesting.
But their food is good though. A lot of Korean barbecue.
Korean barbecue is amazing. I would go there after every game. I learned how to use chopsticks there.
Yeah.
With our team, we had the full course meal 2 times a day.
Yeah.
After our workout, so I didn't really even have to go and get a lot of Korean food. And like I said, I was in Seoul, so they have a lot of people don't understand how Americanized Seoul is. So I was able to get to a lot of American restaurants, a lot of American malls. Obviously, they got a lot of shopping, Hard Rock cafes, PF Chang's, things like that. But yeah, they have a lot of interesting food.
Sure. Yeah. Korea is amazing, great culture. What about China now? In China, what did you eat? I know when I went, and we went with a couple of professional guys.
Kimchi.
Kimchi. Yeah, that's the name of the Korean food. Yeah,
that's the food I was trying.
Yeah. And they literally only ate like rice and chicken. Did you try any of the Chinese, the real Chinese stuff? You know what I'm saying? They got bats and stuff.
I'm not gonna lie. I already got the word from that China didn't have great food. I was lucky to be in Guangzhou, which is a top 4 city.
Huge
in
city.
China. So you have Shanghai, you have Hong Kong, you have Beijing, and then Guangzhou is right there. It's actually like Miami, 75 and over all year. So it was great to live there. In September to December, and still get that. The hot weather. But in China, I was lucky to have a good veteran. Like I said, I stuck by him. He played in China for 3 years, so he would already have the restaurants picked out for us to go to every city that we went to. But in China, it does get tough. Some days you have to eat what they have, and obviously, like you said, they have rice for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then they have these round tables where they eat together. That's one thing about their culture. They eat together. The table just spins, and you just pick up what you want off of each plate and put it onto your plate as it continues to spin around for the whole table. So China, is very family oriented. Just Asian, Eastern culture. In general, they stay at home until they're married. So, which is opposite of us, when we turn 17, 18, we're ready to get out of our parents' house.
So we off the porch.
So it's interesting to see. We could just talk about the food, but there's so many things we could talk about. But in China, I didn't explore too much on the food, but it was a great time.
Now, let me ask you, what are some of you talked a little bit about the customs and the family environments. I like to pull from each different culture. I've been to 62 different countries, and I like to pull something from each culture. Was there anything that you learned or saw and was like, I'm going to implement that with my family or with KJ and your kids and things like that? Are there any type of customs like that?
I like the Eastern culture a lot. I've been in Europe as well, but Europe is more Americanized. So speaking to your question, being in the Eastern culture was the most eye-opening experience. Just how over there they have a lot of hierarchy. The older people go first. You have to bow a lot. So just that, and just their patriotism for their country. They feel that their country is the most powerful. They respect their country a lot more than we do here in the U.S. We take a lot of things for granted. I would say a lot of greed here. The dollar is first. So just to see just those cultures, how they're hardworking, all that rice, people plant that and make that and harvest those throughout the year. And that's why they've been able to, propel their way up the financial ranks. As you see Asians coming here, starting businesses, you see Chinatown, you see all these people keeping their money together.
That sense of community.
So I would say, just that Eastern family, just that hierarchy, respect your elders, respect your country, and just how they pool and resource it and, organize everything together, to keep everything in-house. I think that would be very powerful for us. I mean, especially me being an athlete and seeing how this money is exploding. You see the Michael Jordan documentary, and they say, a couple things he could have did differently to, help the world. And that's what I want to do, just kind of use my influence and pull these resources from, all these athletes. Like, hey, if we just turn our focus to, instead of buying cars and clothes, using these millions of dollars of just helping these kids get education, making the world a better place.
Getting real education,
getting the help they need so they won't start from behind, so they don't have to go to jail. So because their mom or their dad are gone, or maybe in jail or died to gun violence, I have these hundreds of million, and I can give it to them and help. Not just at times where we have a hurricane or a coronavirus crisis. If we, turn our focus to do these things on a daily, I think we could change the world and just change as a people. Not just for our people. I mean, obviously for our people, but for all people.
Yeah. Now you have you ever experienced, like, in all the places that you played, ever kind of had any security issues or things like that? Like, did you ever feel uncomfortable or felt like you're if you went out by yourself, you'd be in danger? I mean, from my perspective, everywhere I've gone, they don't typically mess with black folks, you know what I'm saying, at all. But tell me a little bit about that. I think that's important. A lot of young guys who may have an opportunity to play overseas don't know that the customs are different, and you have to abide by the customs for which the country you're in, and that's way different in Abu Dhabi or Dubai or China, for example,
culture, for sure.
than in Chicago. So talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I mean, I've dealt with that several times. So like I said, my first eye-opening experience, I was in Korea. First, when you land, you can't read signs there. In Europe, they still have the alphabets, and pretty much a lot of countries in Asia, Japan, I've been to Japan, China, Korea, they just have symbols. So that's the first thing that you notice. If you get lost first, you need to always keep your phone charged, keep it portable. If you get lost, you're lost. You don't, you can't get around, you can't read any signs. But obviously, first thing that you're gonna encounter is the language barrier. You're gonna deal with that every single day. Every restaurant you go to, they're not gonna understand you.
No English.
Everywhere you go, people are not gonna understand you. So first and foremost, it's a language barrier. People don't speak English. People don't look like you. So that alone, you have to compensate and overcome that and navigate through that. And I think once you navigate through that, you can go anywhere in the world. So just being overseas and facing different language barriers and just understanding them just opened my eyes to so many things. But as far as security, for sure, like I said, in Korea, it's a hierarchy. So I had to realize that, it's not like Chicago. I'm not just thugging. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just thugging. I got to, when the boss come in, I have to bow. Just the rituals that we have to have. And it's just all out of sign of respect. And then I would say also in Korea, they had his name is Kim Jong-un in North Korea, and they don't have a lot of resources. And like you said, in places like there in China, they control the internet and VPN where people don't see what's happening in America, so they can understand, so they could feel like their country is the best. So he would shoot missiles into the ocean and try to pour resources. And I'm in Korea, like, what's going on? They're like, we're still in the middle of a 50-year civil war right now versus South Korea. I would say in Turkey, I was in Ankara, the capital, Muslim country, pray 5 times a day.
Yes, sir.
It's kind of, I would say, just different views on, different, religions there. I'm Christian. So you would see things like, I would get pulled over because I'm black. I would get pulled over, they would check my ID, check my passport. I mean, I live close to the embassy on purpose, just in case anything happened when I was in Turkey, because that's a little serious.
Same thing. So I stayed not too far from the embassy in Istanbul, because it can get a little crazy in Turkey. I may or may not have snuck into North Korea from South Korea. Scratch
you
that.
May or may not.
I may or may not.
I saw you that.
I may or may not.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I think that's what people don't understand. I have a lot of friends that travel that go with this Western Chicago or LA or Atlanta mentality to these places, especially in Asia, and don't understand you have to adhere to the customs. But one thing I wanted to kind of double back with, you mentioned your time in Italy, and you recently moved KJ, which is your son, out to Italy to spend more time with him and just give him that overall experience. What did that mean to you to be able to do that, and how's that adjusted? And just talk about that sacrifice prior to doing that, with you having kids and having family back here, things going on in Chicago, and you're not able to just hop on a plane and go handle it for them. Tell me a little bit about that, first starting with like moving KJ out to Italy.
Yeah, so first I moved KJ out to China. So this year I moved him out to China. My last season in Italy, last year I was just preparing myself for that. I felt I built myself up in my career financially well. I'm able to do that, and I was able to have help from my sister to come with me. So first they came to China with me. Like I said, I had those preseason games in October, and late October they were there, and I had to get him a tutor. I had to adjust my lifestyle, my training style. Like I said, I trained 3-4 times a day, even in season. So had to get him a teacher, had to make sure he was always situated, had food when I was on the road, had to make sure he was okay. It was really dope though, because in China they really take care of you. He was able to fly with us everywhere. He was able to live in a hotel, get first class treatment.
Yes, sir.
Living in a hotel, I didn't even know people could live in hotels until this past year when I was in China. So it was great for him to have a teacher, to have my sister there, to have that support. Like you said, when I'm done with a game and I'm across the world and I feel like I don't have that support, I don't know nobody in the crowd. So, have my son in the crowd, have my sister in the crowd was, it meant everything to me. And when they first got there, it was a kind of a sense like, these are the things that, okay, I made it. I have my family with me. Not, having a car, things like that, or just, but just to be like, okay, I'm able to take care of my family now. That was huge for me, to know that we had Thanksgiving in Shanghai on the road. That's something that I'm saying now because I will never forget it. And then, when I moved to Italy, we made that transition to Italy, where, in China, I had homeschool because they go to school year round, but I was able to enroll him in the actual international school in Milan, put him on the basketball team in Milan. So, I mean, it was a very dope experience for him. Him being 9 years old and already traveling to 5 different countries. Him already
experience you didn't even have at that age.
I didn't even have. He's been on the plane about 30 times. And he's keeping track, and I'm right there with him on that number at like 70 or 80, but he's already gonna surpass me. So just to just continue to give him keys and gems, to give my family keys and gems, and like you said, to spend that time with them when usually I'll be away for 8 or 9 months, missing that time out of my son's life. But knowing that I worked hard all these years to work my way up in my career to play for a team that, have the financial stability and the resources to put him in school, to take care of him, and it's just a sense of like, that was a real feeling of, okay, I'm making it. I'm taking care of my family. And